because we're going through acquisition.
Ladies and gentlemen, please refrain from leaning on the glass or the doors as this will cease the operation of the train. Once again, ladies and gents, we will be unable to leave the train if you are leaning on the glass or the doors.
No leaning.
But how do you, I mean, I'm touching the door, but...
Yeah. No wonder, did you see the last train go? It wasn't going.
Yeah, it kept, yeah.
You know, but it's really embarrassing because if it's broken down, that must be why.
Well, this is the thing. I was with my friend, I was like, actually, it's good. Let them have a test run.
Yes. Was that the first?
Yeah. So I was thinking, you know, if they're going to break down on that one.
Yeah.
But we have 2 trains. I was thinking, I thought we'd have 2 tracks, you know? What do you think?
No, I think it's a single track that she said it does a figure of 8 and comes back.
They should be running 2 trains to maximise, no? Otherwise, that's
Maybe it's just an emergency.
So are you events team then? The official events team?
Yeah, the
That's
official.
the rogue events team.
The events team, yes, yeah. Okay. So we do, we've got an event in mind perhaps for you, so we've got different brands. One of the brands is a lot more kind of, it's a new brand, so they're willing to do some kind of...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our please refrain from leaning on the glass or the doors as this will cease the operation of the train. Once again, please refrain from leaning on the glass or the doors as this will stop the train from moving. Sit back, relax and enjoy your ride on Mail.
So that's relax and don't lean.
Yes.
Don't be like...
Hello and welcome to Mail Rail. You're about to explore some of London's hidden underground postal railway. I'm Andy, your guide today, and I'm joined by Ray Middlesworth. Hi, Ray.
Hi. I worked here as an engineer for 27 years, keeping the train.
5 years until 2003. As we explore, we'll be going back in time to see tunnels, loading platforms, and a few surprises. We'll be at our first stop in a few minutes. Did you spot some sandbags just then? Ray, could you tell us about that? Sandbags on the line.
That's called the sand drag. That's a pile of sand on the track designed to stop runaway trains. If they run down that hill we've just come down, that will catch them.
The platform you're about to see looks much as it did on the day it shut down in 2003. Ray, can you describe it for us?
When Melrail was running, this platform would be a hive of activity. You'd see people playing darts between the trains arriving, guys conversing back and forth and wheeling work up and down. It was a noisy and lively place to work.
Ray's going to tell you more about life working on the railway as we take a trip down memory lane through the many decades of mail rail.
We're under Mount Pleasant sorting office, heading east to Whitechapel. It was hard work down here, but we all thought we were part of something important. There was enormous team spirit. We seemed to get ourselves in the news a lot in the 90s. It didn't hurt that Bruce Willis made a film down here called Hudson Hawk. In the 80s, we had our 60th anniversary. Along with that, we had a new brand and finally some new trains. I'll tell you 2 things that sum up the 70s. Postcodes made life a lot easier, and strikes made life not so easy. The swinging 60s. Those World Cup stamps sold out after England won. There were a few celebrations down here that summer. In the 50s, air travel became much more common, and so did airmail, and that meant even more of it travelled along mail rail.
This country is at war with Germany.
The railway was bombed several times. This station suffered the most damage when it was hit in 1943. Amazingly, the railway was back up and running the very next day. That reflected how vital the railway had become.
The tunnel off to the left leads to Liverpool Street Station, where mail was transferred to the main railway network. Further down that tunnel, it looks like a maintenance crew is checking the flood barriers.
This side's good. What's that like?
Big heavy steel doors that close it off.
During the railway's construction, 10 men scrambled to safety when the nearby River Fleet broke into where they were digging. The barriers here were installed later, after the war, but they'd never had to be used.
Ray, there's something else here that people might be interested in. Can you tell us about that?
When we move off just up ahead, look down towards the track. You might catch a glimpse of the train graveyard where disused trains are stored. I must have worked on all of them at some time or other.
Don't worry, everybody. Just a power cut. Ray, can you explain?
Power cuts happen from time to time when the railway was operational. We could draw power from the next station along to keep everything running. And of course, us guys in the engineering teams always kept the trains and track in good order.
Okay, on we go.
Ladies and gents, sorry, if you could try not to lean on the doors as we are unable to move the train. Thank you.
Now, let's go a bit further back.
to the early days in the 1930s. Then there was no email, texting, or instant messaging.
Whatever the message, it was sent through the post. So there was a lot of mail to move. Trainloads of mail arrived from every station every few minutes, with less than 60 seconds to unload and reload. Let's follow a few of those letters. This is the Colonel. He's writing to the famous poet W.H. Auden at the GPO film unit. This is Kathleen. She's keeping in touch with her sweetheart in the Navy. And this is Mary. Her letter is very special because it's going to a princess.
Darling bird, that Navy is keeping you away from me for far too long, and everyone says a war's coming. I do hope they're wrong.
Dear Mr. Porter, I feel compelled to express my admiration for your work on the recent film about the night mail postal train.
Dear Princess Elizabeth, I am sending you a birthday card because my birthday is on the same day. I hope you enjoy living in Buckingham Palace. I wish my daddy was a king like yours. Does he wear his crown all the time?
Must go now, or I shall be late for work. Those frogs won't sell themselves. Take good care of yourself, Bert, my love. Kisses, your sweetheart, Kathleen.
So those 3 letters all got delivered quickly and safely. And so did the other 4 million which travelled along mail rail each and every day.
You could say that mail rail was the beating heart of the British postal system. hope you've enjoyed your tour of London's hidden postal railway. It was unique, and I love being part of the great team keeping the railway running.
We hope you'll enjoy exploring the rest of the exhibition just as much. Goodbye.
Bye.
I didn't even know we turned around.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain in your seat until a member of staff comes to assist you. Thank you.